What is up, everybody? I'm NoLucksGiven here with your afternoon snap, and today we are back with week 6 of the Snap Judgments League. Once again, we are up against Flan, doing a little bit of a rematch. This time, I'm playing Hela. Same deck as last week. I still think it's really good, and I was debating between a few different options for what to play. If I wanted to try to play something that I felt beat Hela, but I do just think the deck is incredibly consistent and it's a lot riding on just one match. So I think playing what I feel like is an incredibly consistent and powerful deck is not a bad idea. So that's why we are rolling once again with Hela, and we'll also see if Hela gets nerfed. This might be the last opportunity to play Hela in this exact configuration. Check out the other videos in this series and subscribe to stay tuned if you want to see how this thing wraps up. Basically, how the format of it works, the way that it's technically structured is there's 4 Swiss rounds, and then you play the top 8 from your Swiss pod. And then after that top 8, there will be 4 pod winners, which will be joined by 4 wildcard players into a new top 8, and that's like the series championship. Let's see what Flan is up to for right now. They are playing Agamotto. That was part of the reason I was thinking Moonstone. You play around the wins by... So we could snap here. We could snap to Black Cat and Jubilee. I don't think this is crazy. Throne Room, we will possibly be able to win. They could play a 13 power Agamotto there. That's bigger than most of our cards. So that'll be a little bit of an annoying location. Let's snap. I think we can maybe take them for 2 cubes on this first one. Jubilee's really good as far as the consistency of the deck goes, and we're about to reveal our deck this turn with Black Cat. So before we do that, kind of want to up the stakes here a little bit. I like the Avatar. I dig the Avatar. Blade on Jubilee, kind of a bummer. I think we'll hold off on that one. Swordmaster on Blade, also kind of a bummer, but assumedly we'll be able to discard something that isn't Hela this turn. Okay, the rocks are very, very bad for me. I will probably run out a Swordmaster here. There's some temptation to, like, Skaar into an Agamotto. We're just going to run Swordmaster here, hope to hit the rock. Don't love it. Don't love where we're currently at. That's the risk of snapping before you've seen all 3 locations. And they've got Bolts. Bolts does not turn into a demon, right? Oh, but it wastes their Nico spell. Okay, cool. I do waste my Blade as well. Bit of a bummer. And there is the Infinaut. So, I can't hit the Infinaut here. I would have played Blade this turn. I think we probably just give up on Aunt May's, realistically. Just so that way we don't stack super tall in one location. Like, I don't want to have Swordmaster and Jubilee and Skaar here or something. I could have ran out the Jubilee into Throne Room. Okay, they're going to retreat because their spell did not work with Nico, and maybe they didn't have anything good to do with Bolt. They didn't want to show me more of their deck, or they drew too many rocks. But either way, the snap came in handy, and we are able to get them for 2 cubes there. Interesting retreat. I think that it does make sense in a match like this, though, where you really don't want to show your opponent. That's what I was talking about with that snap. I'm about to give my opponent information with this Black Cat discard, and so snapping or retreating before things like that happen can be pretty important. Maybe they had Black Cat in hand. Maybe they didn't want to show me their Black Cat that was about to get discarded. I don't think that's what they had. But I think they just realized they weren't planning on playing more cards for the rest of the game. And I could potentially squeeze some info out of them if I were to play like a Silver Samurai, make them discard a card. That would be additional information that they could give me by continuing to stay in the game unwittingly a little bit there. Not a fantastic hand to start off here. But we've got Lady Sif to discard Skaar, Hellcow, Blink. It's a reasonable curve for the second half of the game. And that second half might come a little bit sooner. Molrag is going to be easier to put cards into, theoretically, than my opponent is able to do so. And they are going to give me Hellcow energy. Big Hellcow energy this turn. So we could just Lady Sif. Oh my gosh, Subterranea again. That is funny and funky. But I'm thinking, for now, just Hellcow. And then we could even do something interesting like Jubilee Blade next turn if my opponent generates extra energy here. They've got a lot of energy this turn. A lot of energy. I might even want to cow myself, but I don't think we need to. I think we're going to have the opportunity to weave in this Blink and Jubilee and all of that. Like, this turn, I probably... Oh, a Pixie! A Pixie! This could be a snappable position for them. We draw a Rook. Not the best, but we will be able to Blink this Jubilee next turn. So the idea here is next turn I'm going to yeah, it's a little tricky. Because I don't want to Blink the Blade into Thaddeus. Maybe we'll draw or hit Thaddeus, though. Alright, more energy, more energy. Sentry! I mean, cool artwork here, right? Love this Sentry art. What do we get? We get an Infinaut. Alright. So now we just have to steal a win in Molrag. My opponent could be playing... they could have... What's it called? Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi. Doesn't not look like a Shang-Chi deck currently. I'm also debating playing Lady Sif and blinking that next turn. Let's just do this for now. Because that gives me a 50-50-ish. Oh, shoot. It's a totally different 50-50 that I wasn't even considering. That might not be great for me. This is interesting, though. Magneto battling for Subterranea. Well, I don't love the idea that I could just die to a Shang-Chi in Feast, but let's think about Annihilus, because that seems like a reasonable card with the hood. They could go up to 14 points here. It's kind of spooky because they do have Pixie. They've got a Pixie flip on this. I think this is fine for 2 cubes, though, for sure. This is 1 unless they have Shang-Chi. So I'm willing to just let Feast ride. This beats Annihilus, but it doesn't beat Annihilus in this location. But it beats just the Annihilus happening. If they were to play Annihilus here, then they would have a total of, what, 21 to my 16. So then they would win, but then I'm assuming that, like, their other play might not be able to win the other location. Which isn't totally a fair assumption. They could have, see if we get another Subterranea game. Valhalla Jubilee is really good. We got Swordmaster Jubilee Valhalla. I think we're snapping. The tricky thing with Hela, especially in Conquest mode, because it certainly feels like a ladder deck sometimes. In Conquest mode, it's snapping early enough that you're able to get those extra points. Like last game, I possibly would have been snapped up. I think my opponent would have retreated on the final turn regardless, and I only won 1 cube because I wasn't. White Palace is going to give me the Annihilus. We knew about that one. We knew that one was coming. Yeah. And they not only saw the Hela, but they also gave me their Annihilus. So that was a double downer for them. White Palace definitely putting in some work there. I will probably... Oh, gosh, I can Swordmaster the Annihilus? Oh, that's insane.
Gotta run, hun.
Yeah, I think they know the writing is on the wall on this one. What the heck? What the heck? That's so silly. We are just going to Swordmaster. I'm fine discarding Annihilus or the Rock. Don't mind. We'll discard the other one in Valhalla next turn. And we will also easily win Valhalla with Jubilee this turn, which was the reason for the Season of Snappin'. We cannot discard Hela even if we hit Lady Sif, so feeling pretty good about all of this. If we Jubilee into Blink the Swordmaster, then Blink blinks the Jubilee, and we've got an insane amount of power here. So all of those things seem quite fantastique. And I'm not sure how this really goes terribly for me. They could Sentry and double Void me. At that point, we might just... Yeah, it gets tricky because they'll have priority, or we'll have priority on the final turn. So I'm not sure if there's a way we can play around that. We are going to get a Hellcow. They are going to take out Thaddeus. All right, good riddance, Thaddeus. And a Nico. Well, this is even better right now because we have priority. I'm sorry, they have priority. So I think we just need to continue to let them have priority, which this does. We can Lady Sif, discard anything. This is like, yeah, the perfect curve. This is crazy. We actually won't hit Lady Sif. We will just Jubilee into Skaar or Infinaut, and then next turn we will Hela without priority and give them back any junk they manage to send this way. So, seems like a snap and a half. There's Agamotto, and they grab another Agamotto here, but we definitely win Valhalla, and I probably just battle for White Palace. So our discarded cards here are Black Cat, Annihilus, and Thaddeus, as well as 3 rocks. We'll get one of those. I guess I put this here so that way I'm battling for all 3 locations. Sure. But I feel fine about this. They could also Magneto, but we always win Valhalla still probably. Magneto could be a little bit interesting because we could put too much power in Valhalla. But Magneto pulls over 14 points of power, so it's a -2 to whatever location they play it in. So I still feel reasonable about this. We have not seen a Cosmo. They could 50-50 Cosmo or Eliath in a Pixie deck, or they could retreat. And we are up 10 cubes to 5. Not quite high stakes mode. That was round number 3, I believe. Yeah, we are in round 4 now. And we'll see if we can manage to find another Subterranea. Let's see. Subterranea number 3. Nidavellir is a good location for them. That's demon mode. Going demon mode. Castle Blackstone. That could be powerful for them. Yeah, they get a demon there this turn with the hood. It's a pretty good start. I will usurp their power there if I hit Swordmaster this turn. And we do also have Hela, but I can't hit Blade here. Subterranea? No. Okay, Bifrost. Bifrost is interesting, but I have not drawn any early game threats. And they've got an extra energy the entire game. This turn, they can play Sentry. Probably just play Sentry into Nidavellir. They might try to play around Swordmaster and play into Blackstone and kind of like overcommit. That would be interesting. They're going to play Bolts plus Temporal Manipulation. Okay. I don't exactly know what all of these spells do. We can take a look. So Bolts gives them how much extra energy? 4. And this gives +3 to Agamotto and draws it if they did not have it already, which I'm not sure if they did or not. I feel like having done nothing this entire game, a snap feels pretty reasonable. Next turn I can blink the Lady Sif into either Jubilee or Infinaut though. This turn I can discard Death with it. The only thing I don't want to do is, yeah, blink the... But I won't... Hela won't be the rightmost card in my hand, so I'll never Blade this. Stay in it here for 1 cube. See what they got. Oh yeah, big Agamotto. That's going to battle for Blackstone for sure. And the Pixie plus the Agamotto, yeah, it seems like a snappable condition here. So now we will be... And I want to put as many cards into Nidavellir as possible. If we hit Jubilee into Blade, that's kind of a bummer. Okay, what we want to do is we want to hit Jubilee into Infinaut, and then next turn we want to draw Blade. Because we'll have the energy to play it alongside Hela. I'm also fine with Swordmaster. I almost don't know if I should just give up on Nidavellir, though. I feel like they're just going to have more things to play there than I. Let's do this. If they wins me, then I get to blink it, which is cool. Okay, Mobius does not do anything against me, really. Yeah, maybe even battling for Nidavellir is a little bit of a mistake. Let's see, do we hit the... We just straight up hit the Infinaut. Okay, so now we want to hit Blade here. Seems pretty good. Seems pretty good, because this is an extra 8 power at this location, plus we could hit Thaddeus over here. Otherwise, reanimating Thaddeus is not that strong, and then I get back a Death and a Black Cat. So I'm battling for all 3 locations. I don't think there's any way I ever retreat this game. I think we send it. We still have not seen 3 cards in their deck. We don't know if there's a Shang-Chi. What else can we assume that they have? Probably not assuming that they have Spider-Ham. I'm still potentially thinking they could have a bomb like a Goliath. And it doesn't seem like they're a Cersei build. And they do have the Shang-Chi. So they battle for Nidavellir. That was something that I was a little bit afeared of. But I think with that, I've won the other 2 locations, right? Just Shang-Chi alone is not going to do it. So there you go. 4 more cubes. 10-1. 10-1 now. Gotta feel pretty good about that. My opponent will now have to win the next 5 games. And they've lost a lot of their surprise factor, revealing the Shang-Chi. So this is why you play Hela, folks. Thaddeus plus Jubilee, this would be a snap position if we were still playing Marvel Snap, but we are now just playing Marvel. This seems like a fantastic curve, fantastic hand. Feeling good. Cool. So, not going to count my chickens, but as I was saying at the beginning of the video, this is currently the top 32, I think technically, is probably the cleanest way to word it. We'll play Thaddeus here so that it's safe from Lady Deathstrike. I was thinking about that in the previous game. And then we'll just have to battle for Subterranea, because all of our cards are going to get dragged into Asteroid M as we play them in the future turns. Lady Sif to discard Death is cool. So many Subterraneas this match is wild. Alright, Temporal Manipulation. What I would like on that is just like a clearer animation to tell me if that drew the Agamotto or not, because I'm not always sure that it does. We get to discard Black Cat, that's really good value, of course. Ego!
I am Ego, and this is my domain.
Well, I feel terrible for Flan that their tournament might be finished on an Ego game. when this deck plays itself, this is a perfect deck to be egoed. Next turn, I think I'll play Jubilee, and then on the final turn, I think I'll blink that, and then play the Hela. All right, I'll play a Hellcow this turn. Hellcow, actually, ego will activate this. So this was a terrible draw here, because ego will activate this next turn, but if I don't draw Hela, it actually is the correct play to activate this before playing Blink. I might wind up playing Jubilee. I can still play Jubilee into Blink. That would be a really good line as well. Let's see what they come up with. They're going to Blink, and they did not show me activating this. Okay, well, this becomes an Infinaut, so that's fine. I imagine Hellcow got activated here. Okay, it did. It discarded Skaar, and now I get to blink this into Infinaut, and then final turn I'm either going to play Jubilee or Hela, both of which seem fine, and I just have to dodge their Shang-Chi over an Asteroid M, and hopefully I can play Hela. All right, that's pretty good. Well played, Ego, and well played, Flan, but unfortunately I do believe that is going to be the end of your run, but there's still the opportunity for you to win a wild card spot. For today, that is going to be it for me. We're on to the top 16 now, I think it is. Thank you guys very much for watching. I'm NoLucksGiven. Peace. Oh, I'll play it out here. I'll play it out, but this is, yeah, I mean, I won. I knew that I won. It's all right. It's all right. All right. GG's, my friend.